krata no a yetwa ede to so no mampani asan so no kra no yenya nwie ya emra no kra no nyankonkodu o mampani ho yagusu boaboa ho aso nana besan nana nsan amanfo so nsan yesu nana obesan mamoni ewu afei yakokote ya yese ensentwe ni bia ye frɛ no Richard the last guy what the asem no enra anwumre ye battleground no mu eno mampani akufo ado de krata de babonten eba ne krada mnim se omoboa because enya sana nana edin statement ede eba we de nana ado aye picture bi no da so na utumi hu the excitement na ni diagie se trumu mra no yanyintum na yetwam na nani ade no de ne picture to so na nankasa wadafa na watro sansam no agufa ya wode eba ye ne nsam tintintintia ene se o mampani akufo ado enura o ya asem ni nyanko koto kra no na nado se asem no kokot wode mpodi o se akokot na asem na kokot no wontumi nsan kopem se court no ebedi na asem wi ansana obesan a wasan asem no so kokot ne enti ye dai na mampani hu se ade bi kura be kokot enti men sign na men fakrat amra utumi hu se omampani ni gitrumu ho papa ake bebra na konode na na modie moma ye hwe omampani ne nsem no ene sedi no mesekwa wodi ni kan bi.
I'm aware that last week's bipartisan passage by Parliament of the Proper Human Sexual Rights and Ghanaian Family Values Bill on a private member's motion has raised considerable anxieties in certain quarters of the diplomatic community and among some friends of Ghana that she may be turning her back on her hitherto enviable, long-standing record on human rights observance and attachment to the rule of law. I want to assure you that no such backsliding will be contemplated or occasioned. I think it will serve little purpose to go at this stage into the details of the origin of this proposed law, which is yet to reach my desk. But suffice it to say that I have learned that today a challenge has been mounted at the Supreme Court by a concerned citizen to the constitutionality of the proposed legislation. In the circumstances, it would be as well for all of us to hold our hands and await the decision of the court before any action is taken.
Enti asamne na da ho ne mampani na da ko akufo ado say ono die won peso ono court benya asam won pe problem bia asam no court asam na court no onko sign wotena na court abete ne contempt sa den wasan ne nsawom 2 weeks wo mampani wodwe ne ho ba bia wanyina durei won pe ne ho asam ewo obi turumu ho ti woten wanko na wachoke won pe asam na omampani ane yate nka no etimu a mo so obesan no na na yi musuria na danko akufo ado ene Catholic Bishop Conference ekohia omampo o de to manim say ono de anya na penso na trumu bekoso na utie omampani akufo ado a ase eni tie bia wode kasafa trumu no ha okay ya be ya hese ya sabeka adib sania ne ye ne no adi nkomo adi afa amaman ahodo no ho na ya hwese anyonkofa ne nkintawudie no ebe kosen na ye ne no adi nkomo na ye hwe na yankoyo ye ne adib enkotwe nkomo adib akwaba
ye nia
na umpom boko de
ye da nyakopo afi wo so e
o boko papa menia yete ye ho nka na ache na adi buedie wada Roma trumu ya edrusuo yi na ne emra ya ye kama yi a omampani se asem no court ompani ho asem baby a wanya dui on person no court benya problem it will not the Supreme Court can asem wi a and wo be sign should in case say ye gitumu a anyon kofa eda ye ntem ene amama ahodo no a eye saade no ebe kosen international relations sign ebe ko
yo me da say mami chomo unim adia eye me ho chen bibia e wo sa asem we enye sa bill no enye omampenyin ni posture no eye Ghana for including yourself and myself to some extent who thinks that omampenyin be sign sa bill no there is no way, and let me say it over and over again for the record, say a bad thing, if not an impossibility, say, or my opinion, best Chinese are building. Me, or your parliament, we see you before you don't know what's waiting for you. No way. How best Chinese? For so many reasons. One, economic benefits are from financial benefits and from IMF, any World Bank. Look, media, if not for IMF, any World Bank, and the economy a bit collapses.
Yeah.
Especially last year on hyperinflation, obviously Russia, Ukraine, and them because of inefficiencies.
Mm-hmm.
Secondly, several government lobbying to get Shelley Ayoko, the Foreign Affairs Minister, to become Commonwealth Secretary General. And so, who observes here? We call meetings, we call assembly, our Ghana, global meeting, our conference center, we call Honum, our right? And we see at there, my opinion, at different levels and at different places, including recent trip to Austria. No, the pro-Western stance are taken. Obviously, is because of the says, Shelley Ayoko Bushi winning bid. All right, and so a signing is a goodbye kiss to start possibility of Shelley Ayoko Bushi becoming the Commonwealth Secretary General, and a bit affecting the level of donor support from international partners owing to the close relationship between donor entities, and Kenfuriata and some other individuals. So I just here. This, alongside other secondary issues, would make it nearly impossible.
Yansha from the angle of Ghana Beyond Aid. Ghana Beyond Aid no man penny de buy no and so abana and fanfas will be ama.
But at this point, Ghanaians come. All Ghanaians, even MPP for money there, just come. Yeah, there's nothing like that. Ghana Beyond Aid, I feel they call G8 in the history of Ghana, Obia and G8 to say government way. So the fact that was effort to come out with such a slogan, I think it was an insult on the conscience of Ghanaians. Ghana has to me yet beyond aid. We are even rather going more and more into aid because of inefficiency, governmental inefficiency. So it's our slogan. Yes, I mean, we should treat it with a pinch of salt. And yes, it is serious thing.
Wow. Enti sese no. Tuwo no. Emra no kire se so mampani ansan a yetume de kɔ parliament. Na emra sebedwafo no asan. Ɛna sese no enye ebia empanimfo se yem a yanyina wie no. Because meti hai sabi ope metru mu adi na mse me ma wuni a. Say ye me am metru mu me de ma de kɔ. Na ye man ketwa na wo school mu no a yɛde ayɛ syllabus ɛde akɔ same comprehensive sexuality education no yɛnyɛ ne dan ne yɛyi afiri mu ɛno nso no yɛahwɛ
Yes, anytime engineer mama kuma coming because me mama and the trajectory is quite scary. Very, very, very scary. But I see two strategies in our semi of course to know. I bet to be I say courts no and that drag this until such a point that Ghanaians will lose interest in SARS.
But do you think Parliament and so ewo saa kwan no because
yes
say I am ra and obi betum di aka say ye de mra ne court we akwa test say no eye bill enyamra ye nya kran leye enko mampani ho eti ade na nipa no wode koyi wode kosen so akoye den.
Good. So at this point in time, Obian to be necessary until a final determination by court. You know?
Okay.
So we are every opposite what Parliament thinks, and I don't know would complicate the issue, more. So I still say about opinion of on Dragon until take a time to obey hand over the next government so that over CSR better no.
Okay.
But on paper, from all indication, on paper, star legacy and come, okay, based on the relationship with Western partners and okay. I mean, he would go down history as the president who assented to anti-gay law in Ghana. I mean, a big deal, more a big deal.
Wow. Adi bi yejawa mwako na minim religious belief o ya kremoni on. Okay. Enti wunua kremo bawomia. Wune se ebra so a obeba abontia ba be declare ade akire wiase nyina se me papa kremo menyi gentum te se de ni nua John Mahama aye no wune se ehwo mfa so obeye saa.
Well, I bet depending on the level of principles you have. So
okay.
When you need our principles, no, to say, I can decide to keep quiet about course,
sure.
And enjoy.
Sure.
Maybe it will be a better benefit. But me, no credit to now. I cannot believe it. I mean, I cannot walk around it. I go straight to it. So So, John Mama, on our principles, so that's why he's come out to, declare clearly. My opinion, or book become some time ago, ever interview, we need whether any CNN and just your interview. Want to me answer? And I can tell you for a fact, Baumia, it's a very dire situation.
Yo. Adib Sani a security and foreign policy analyst and I'm what say no edin community and community and one no or say Owura John Mahama de wo saa ade no say obetumi na mo ba wo mi ade ontumi enti se ba wo mi antumi de a na de ye kan say mo ma ne da ate o mesre mo wo ba keto no a wo ko school mu no comprehensive sexuality education no ehye ho books no wo ho se wo to aba de maba wo mi a wo ba pe the first thing ne say ye de tumu no be kwankola ni school ho na akwada ketoa obesua gay na oba wote ho a na ne toya ne ya obekwa akọ no yesi wo ko school enom koye practical e wo ne to en we prasa no wuntumi fanko ba bia
se wo pet bi a wo ne wo fie wo kraman wo gira mo abi na ya kire no wo school mu ne wa ba na
wo ba no butu kraman ati no wo fa no practical eti yesramo ba wo mia weni a trumu beba munyini nsinchen yaken obeba bonten abeka se wono kura wotiri oboa ope
tira ni o me ehu sese yen ai one some of them on say bill na se na be yemra wo yin ba some na wo
seba wo miase wo tiri ya na na do ansan ya won resign me ehwe sa won ye vice
bi so there was so wo ye mate 18 you obeka bia driver and se see ade wo ne flag bearer no 18 no se my penny akufo adro se won fa ne nsa nhase ana se kobase won fa ne nsa nhase a wo resigning wo se maka
wo so ntie nti ma resign e de free na ban ni mu me ba be hwe me party adwuma na matoto
sa yen sama yen nanka yen one say na me say yen nsem twefo mu ha wo hene ba sama na wo ka enra na jo a sa ne krata ne ba me say na da ben obi di asem ko court minimum minimum na chese wo hwe krata wo de ba ye na ye hwe data as abrante di asem ne court na chese ye se ya stage
aso obi na tetira so obi se fakọ ne tawati Tumuno dia ya nyuntumu da mukoso na mu
ono ne hu ne ntam my penny akufo ado ehu ne ntam se wo hwe se de ade ne kọ ya ne wonimu se obi de kwakọt da na ntina wo de hye ne krata mu monya smart crown so ka ho on se ya chemo feeling gadoti na ya to so scamesu ezena Then a deep car and say Ghana beyond age, you know. Scammers in government. Now, yet also, Masha, one more dear just said, Manuya, one more pair a contabuo, ye muda or French and fico. At the ama a cosign, and I say past questions, sir. Abaisi otodema sukun kwada womo ekwotre wasi ensohwe na no sum Ghana cedis no opepema duosia wotwe achipo enum 68.5 million Ghana cedis asemu we ye no an say na amen ye kan wo he na che say esa past questions yi kra no womo ye ne photocopy o etisa wo sese a photocopy ba ku bi omo ye ne 59 Ghana cedis akromfo asem na wo kan sen esemi ena mrashebedwom ekopie ho nti mrashebedwani ogemu de ma ashama abatom pesa so ye Ernest Henry Nogbe ena wacha se eba ne sen pa na yetumi bu sa kontami esese sa ensemi edeba betu edwa womo de womo hu se emu na hosa eti aban emfa ho akontabuo emra
going to petition the special prosecutor for that matter because you cannot spend this huge amount of money under single source procurement and say that you have made photocopies for SSC, candidates, past question for SSC candidates, that even WAEC, the authority that be, can even reproduce for you. Then you have spent 68.5 million Ghana cedis to reproduce, to make a photocopy of, past questions for students. It's unheard of. So we are calling on the special prosecutor to investigate this matter. If you are engaging in single source procurement, there are preconditions under Section 41. Preconditions. One, if you don't have more than 2 or more suppliers of that product, then you can engage in single source procurement. If it is an emergency purchase, then you can go under single source procurement. Or if there's any catastrophe, a host of those preconditions are under Section 41. Now, none of these things were the reasons for which you engage in single source procurement. West African Examination Council is the custodian of this document. They have all the past questions. There's nothing wrong if you ask WAEC that make photocopies of this quantity for all the SSC candidates, other than to engage another source.
Eti we ya shama mrashebedwani wudu mrashebedwamo abedwoku a womo ehwe enhumasia eho ensem eso eda na bom ewo ho dom kuma no afam Ernest Nogbe ena yete nka yenko maso ye ne Daniel Fanyi enkodi enkomo wabe wo nhumasia mu yie pa yewra Fanyi ya mo wakwaba ede bapa wa TVXYZ tanyume no siabrem Kasiebo so
yo me jo so pa na
yada senso ne adaje wanyade ama ye anwumere na megide se nkomo ye wudwani adi akire so ehun hia yie pa say past questions oman ne best sika twitwiri die ye tesenyi e de ato ama enkwada ana se eye sika sayi
Yo, my man, that's it. I mean, share a for the actual phone. In fact, the reality is that past questions are very important. You know, you ask yourself when you go to the classroom, now you start the year. Now, in Kuala Lumpur, especially some of prepare one towards examination or what you are not be here. It is important to almost go through some of the questions that have already been written. Now, almost they are prepared because examination needs not only the content, but we have examination skills. The time I'll be to draw once a day, how to answer the questions, how to read and understand those questions, and all that. So, past question itself is not a bad concept. Then, yes, problems that you want in our education system or purchasing of past questions are a complete waste of our access. Complete waste of our access. You ever share almost 68 billion Ghana cedis. You be used that way. When for basic school, kindergarten, primary, JHS levels, they don't even have tables and chairs. I want to be shared. The recent report about 40% of these people don't have tables and chairs. And when we talk of 40%, that is very significant and a very huge number. We are talking of about 2.5 million and the control books that are online. The only thing that's quite obvious is that you want vote. You want to win votes of these students. You have seen that the senior high school children are close to election years. Many of them are close to 18 years. So you think that if you buy past questions for them, they can vote for you. So you are reserve national attention. It is the table cry and found, who the chairs are young found, who the computer laboratory, science laboratory, library are young found. Then who could do SHS now obey voting age now. Then everybody is coming to you. People are buying tablets for you. They are buying past questions for you just because this is our education system. We are sitting on a time bomb. We are waiting for the time and the bomb to blast one day. We can't joke with our education system. Joke with anything in this country. Joke with any department in this country. Joke with any sector in this country, but never joke with the education system of the country.
Sir, you're a say okay, past questions, ye pa, won't cry. Past questions, and one I'm mobile shama dio. Na mudia sia dear na, come say, I buy Eden and home a shame me, a coin be suono, say, I cry no ho, no one who see the past questions, free, I buy muna, but the any ya po. 81 years and a half.
Avenue for us to steal the money. Other than that, why so sources under our laws only provided when there's an emergency. How do you buy past questions of sourcing days? If you are not looking for another way to steal money, how should you pass questions be source venture? If you know a chrono, and basically no, almost close to the same. They are helping the children. They are not helping the children. If you break it down, if you break the money down, it means that our Minister for Education bought one past question for almost 200 cities. That's the amount of money they are telling us that one past question here was costing about 200 to 300 cities. And that doesn't make sense. It's so minor. They can't joke with our education. Look, when you go across all the basic schools in this country and even the senior high school, when you look at the quality of food that you have in Mankalayo more senior high school, now share the quality. Could you believe that after 6 years now, we don't even have a curriculum? The curriculum is in Colorado itself, they are just doing anything to represent something in our schools. And for you to ignore all these important issues and decide that I'm going to buy a past question. If it is not a psychological issue, then it is definitely an attempt to steal money. Other than that, it doesn't make sense in any level. It doesn't make sense at any platform. If you explain it to any sane person or sane human being, I don't see how it will make sense to them. That have ignored buying tables and chairs, have ignored the development of a comprehensive curriculum, have ignored the feeding of our children, but have used 68 billion to bypass questions. These things cannot make sense at any level. We have read the ministry to come again, and we also plead with the next government that will come to interrogate critically some of these sectors and incarcerate, imprison some of these criminals who are facilitating some of these activities. Because it is sickening. If you are directly involved with our pupils in our schools, who you will be a classroom, who you will be engaged in Kwalana, you are likely to cry when you hear some of these things on TV and on radio, that we are using this money for these things. Now, books on mobile share. Some places don't even have electricity. Some don't have computers. Some don't have libraries, and they are just there. They don't also have curriculum, and they are just there.
I know it
is bad.
There what candidate is bound to happen. One more, almost one for science, some Munyanakatas, Shana, and I buy for Froba, or Basham, yes, I didn't two if you say you didn't bet to yet as a pan. It's for way a year. Yera Daniel Fenny, Wabi ye pa and humasium, and I'm not saying 1 year AD and common or in about it is bound to happen.
Ya trust when you sign and run common money and hadibi. Emra Sabajani Emma was central, Honorable Abdul Rashid Purple. Now, open a quantity Eddie Atuja. Ya was say, we do a mampeni a kufuado hoyao. Papa Nading, no se. What the state of the nation address said, Bano. Woman penny pa. Ghana have basabasa rukasama hodo akosono. When to me and Biena no, Ankaba kokura wasem. No kwasem, Neuraho, Yentian some of the two journey.
I listened to the president. And I appreciated the fact that he was talking so much about security. And in fact, he dwelled on the need to have security in the ECOWAS sub-region. And then he particularly expressed his anxiety about the fact that countries are embarking on coup d'etats, and which he rightly termed undesirable, undemocratic regression, and need for Ghana to support ECOWAS to overcome these things. Mr. Speaker, this is only about the fact that we are so much concerned about the external security situation, which likely can have an effect on Ghana, but not having an effect on Ghana right now. Mr. Speaker, what about the situation in Ghana, the domestic situation, where in the last elections, 8 citizens of our country were shot and killed? The president never apologized to anybody for what has happened, never visited the families, and it's still as if nothing has happened. Mr. Speaker, and getting to the end of his term, he had an opportunity to say something. We expected him, after he talked about the need for us to have free, fair elections, to begin to recount of what happened in the last elections and to assure Ghanaians that this will not happen anymore. Mr. Speaker, he did not find the need to say that. I'm very concerned about that, even though I think that he may have thought about it from a political angle, which is unacceptable. It is important for the president to acknowledge the fact that there were lapses in the way we organize our security.
Why I am some Honorable Rashid Purple, what they a two jam.
Na yebusu ewo mrase bejum. Penny ya yaboni dia ya jene tumo be wa be ya swafo a wo hwe ensahwe ene etese eniema yede ya adwene eye ene yamamre eho ensem eso Andrew Ejepamesa wachese ehia ye pasa mrashebedwan wo mo betaye kire ama National Cathedral sebe abon samudanya my penny akufuado say wo sie no yetumi esi ewie say come here saying Chinwashiu be controversy be ebatabata Cathedral na womo pese womo esie ne hunti ejejina sabaimu womo ntumi ennu womo ebotaye ehun nanka ye hwemu dia sade sofo hwe sikasane ntutu yeso kane soafo ken for wiata ya tese wono ninim die nyina so sen Ghana fo die nyina sikasemu a woni wa yesikasa betete apansam wode to adwa say March bosum da to so enso mfiem pimienu ne aduonu enan emunata se natural cathedral no aye ready ya ye ko akobia no eti ye nyina ye hwe ne mu kwai seja nyame ya dom ochena cathedral no ye bebia no so wo behwe no eye ntokro ban ena wo matutu ewo ho sika ya sen wo mu nso na nya sem ketwa na ebra ye tutu andu ajepa mesa ano na to say ya gina tum esese afọ behwe sa aso ho no ena wo chesem edan a yesi ama Nyankopon de esese ye nyina de ho agimu bi ye ba wi ase no ye be si dan na wie no ede emfaso papa ebosika semu ebebre oman no enyina ntimra hwebedwa no enta ye chiri.
Chairman, I believe that they are not mutually exclusive. Of course, you do not have unlimited resources, but some funding has gone in there. And I'm not so sure whether the jest, that is the world's most expensive whole, is palatable to anybody. There's a national asset that is in that state, and it has to be completed, to my mind. And so if you want a definitive answer, that if I have the opportunity to request Parliament to consider and approve a budget for the completion of the National Cathedral, then yes.
Papa Jai Sansam na wokano. National Cathedral be mubesi ankamo ensi. Entokro na motutu wo ho amasa Ghana sika wo ho no. Na wo se hwan. Na o se yenta yechi set ye biasi ye wie. Yate. Why? Edapamasa eye pani ayabone di se won kohwe nsahwe aso ye eho ye gide tumudi anatese wono na ekohwe so na sade ke no fo wi ataka ne so afo a na ohwe sikasa ne ntete so ekopie mu mrahwe bedom se 6th March 2024 na ye wie cathedral na ye bebia no yentie sade okan.
Speaker, work on the National Cathedral is progressing speedily and following the program of the contractors. And with God helping us, the National Cathedral is expected to be officially commissioned on March 6, 2024. Upon completion, the National Cathedral will provide a sacred space for formal religious activities of state and symbolize the enormous contribution of faith in nation building.
Eti we ye kane so afa no hwesika sam entete so ken for wiata ko gina mrahwe bedwamu a na Walker National Cathedral bonsam dan aban SCS wo sie ede ama Nyankopon no nru March bosimi de tusu nsia mfimpi mienu ne aduonu nan na tese womo awie kofa ho abonsambo ede baaye ese oheba wadamfo Captain Smart wono kra so eso cement omode mo mwawie na ebom no wate won sa bom tiri so eti jame ya do cha ye nyina ye ehia na ye bia no se ye ntokrokro e bia no na ajapamesa no a ye se bisa no efa LGBTQ+ bill ne ho odwe ho se no so we na koye busipa ne konua haban ye tase ne banyansafo sabio ade we ne man pani akufu ado ese otumi ede to nsaniani na wo hu ekwan a wo fa ebeboa sase wontumi emfiti preko penyira nkrane mu entutu nkrane nti onde watufo ese wogidi samai pani akufu ado wo behwe wo man amamra na wa ye de esefata ema M4 Halbia ema Ghana eso.
I mean, our culture is our culture, ultimately. And so if people want to experience our culture, it really shouldn't matter whether we are opposed to a certain lifestyle within our cultural setting. But it all comes down to how you promote Ghana and position ourselves within the law, that is, if His Excellency the President assents to it. Okay, so I know it's the most topical subject matter now. Indeed, yesterday I was having conversations with my brother and some friends of mine at home, and it came up what your response would be when this question is posed to you. But I still haven't figured out an answer. But all I can say is that it definitely will have an impact, one way or the other. Some people who believe that lifestyle should be allowed everywhere may find Ghana not an attractive place. Some people who believe in our culture would find Ghana an attractive place. And so it all comes down to how you market Ghana and what it is that we offer to the world. The listing that we have, that we are encouraging people to visit our country as opposed to others. And of course, like my good friend, Chief Whip on the minority side indicated, if you promote domestic tourism, that then helps you to deal with whatever shortfalls or issues that may arise from some lack of interest because of this law.
Into what's the deal? Oh, so me who position kasa.
The position watcher no. And somebody will
okay, in the position and the position from day one.
And somebody will ha oh can. A woman say
we must handle it with tact.
And she say ya abey. Obia cassette me no. Any kasa was sa gayism ne say no man ho. I am person the religious beliefs at the because I saw no akọ no obi nkubi.
Insanity.
And I say osumo nyame obi son the bosom. To obi bia ne belief system. So no maybe wo ha ya na me person me de religious beliefs. Na me pay common sense. Say be ma wo ho oba wo ho. Na ya wo te wo kama me se me pay Evis. Akoyeden. Auntie, common sense,
but a baby as so say or dry ne baby or pa or didn't fufu.
And you can common sense, crab catcher say, Sadi and ye. And to say Ebia, media, me who say me ne abuadana me tommy. Simple logic. Ebetrel say, and yan sakwanso. We are fire. We are. And a dear beer ni ha, and for biaho. I think and run up. Many media house be I think Oja was Fire FM war in Tampo, Edin Como, and Ranopa. And me catch almost say, men are me gay woman kind and found but Tebia now oba me menete hono. Near Jai. No, I bet track and Tampo, maybe a mind the now and abedan also the amount. And you will know maybe ha. Ube to me a bra, but almost so our more yemrano. Say. Or more reduce sentences, no? Because you're chill in the actor between 6 months to 3 years. No, sir, prison no mudini panicono. I've already told you, say, a woman no munu abontehano a different from prison, because you call prison that act more than abonting. Sa act no, a wo prison more than abonting. Gayism no a wo pa. Inti. Ya wo no ma bi wa tse de ya wo ti abonten ha ne yeso obi an ri na ye de ne konsa wom wa bra wo kokoduru no hanu a ri no ye bona bomu egu hot se bibia wo nti me kai se me bisa pani ba ko se se aden na ri do so ha no se enkrofo na wo ho no obi wo ha eno na wono ma e ma na dwendwen so te within a second wanya bia obetumi akomunipa because no ho yira no a you obey no enye bini enti ye was some enuoma bi wo ha ye go so advocate say anko binum wi ye nya no oh yes ye wonuoma bi wo ate say de na do legalize ye say ye mfa enye industrial purposes no fine now when wo do about ye wi a wono wo wi about ye no testing we
yes some it has some way there yan tasen besepane konua haban
meme de I was say
no bisi jama wo ye binti na wo
say
matanya ne sa
omampani san wo na wakọ akoshebo obi ansoma wo na akọ roman fo ho na akoshebo say sa de wenye wapenso ene bekoso ko ne tube na yodin na tran ba bi
ade ne say ye de amayosem awurawura mo nti na
edu say ne de ne yotwe mu tan ne wo besan yo orman well ana okay
Edu.
Me no enye say ebia wo e obi right tantantan we dey say enye right and ye am Robertson so be organize wo mo say yes say yemfa common sense mfanya de ne say wo ne aboeda into e wo say hu ne say ebia nipa no wo yare ebia o mental problem bi ebia bibi na ha no
eno na pa bi ka say yare
yare na situation bi wo ha ya the a tree will be co and addiction. So be addicted, it will be more. To get that person out, it take years. Adding
papa
panty. I would say be a memo papa 1 to 20. And the deal will be a cocoa baby. Sabio, Obi Oha, Obi na fan to an oman cacrato, the idea. And a sadiano, attack one, why addicted, ababy room. Maybe I would to way, ye send no manua. It was some of my system in the year, Juma. The system must work first.
Nyamedwatu.
Now, the party tomorrow or qua, walk to us, walk to us. Eh, come on, call prison, me call could be a day anymore. Mra number 1, and say you need to move. Not just see a debut. I. Oh,
the motion you,
yes, a hot dear.
Munia, my yourself, cry for my
prison, not dear. Tumuno dos will hopper. No, be trust sister, yes. When need be that now. Now, Obi by your say, where did Trumuni at Naba said you'll be gay, Obi also move. Aye. Miss Ramon, Madame, Motu no Mayena, Mumma system no Yajuma. Mumma system no Yajuma, media religiously, and the Yanamin Pesame, Messer religious spectacle. And what home say, me a Cremuni, me a Christoni, me a Buddhist, me a way me you know, common sense, a tressing. Oba and Oba ne was shim, and Yamia body mono. It is Obi Bema. It is a Obi ewo. Any other feeling be a winnie penny more. I saw one penny for ya, Mona Mosia, some walk room here. Mona Mosia, some say a home money. And you want to my one way too. Mobo some Malaya, pray, peer. Now come to 2 hours.
Thank Anasadia and Kayari for Niku.
First day more do for my doctor Muzu now on Somuma, Yamfa and Co. Oh, and yes, be a year can will be back as a bio, will be promoted their bio. And yet I say, a moment or tell command, say a pet, and yes, be promoted, but ye can say, so what's Shemra, wo Yemra, and chef from the angle of because Utumu say, Honorable Sam George, so Casafa one, or Casa with pain, or Yaubi because we share the video beer. Now what Casafa and emotional, I say, Obiadino. Sabio, I say, Obia fan to and I say, Bia, no, you will know do her. I am ra and yes, and I gonna phone you to me, and I'm Ranu Moseseno, Samie, me be, Memetia me be, no coffee the boy and ye bia. Now you're too quiet, must remember me, you know, hotel, Minimum, you know, near to quiet me be. Makwa da demo, Musimuhuna Sanwa, and Ranu inti. Ebrebia dura e wosem ran ye bebam se bia wo be makra no na sabio woni ne yirihiem ana woni ne girlfriend na wode na no kobo na se a mra na we no na mra tantan be no
en na wo bisase sebe wo mo nso e wo krom ha no ehefo dodo na ohene be wo wura mu a dodo na ne sebe wo mo ye no mo girlfriend se ya o mo fetch ho so hypocrisy
wo mo ma to ama fan wo krom ha bi ni a man in to me kukudro ma bonten kentra
so the list baba
omunya kukudro ba bonten anka sharia law me jinkram ayi eno papa die e okan o ayi ye do be ma to se kai ayi dia so obe ma sini sa no kwa ye twa to atwene afatrum Dr. Amuzugabu amanije aba wada Roma stomach ulcer otu ase amuzuke no a amuzuke no eyi yefunu yade bia efri ho yo amuzu garlic esiesie ama mogya afru sane yie woni padua no yo amuzu pea na amuzu pea no for general body pains ene yade kaye ka ho no ena esiesie ene ye wo amuzu herbal mixture no so no etu malaria fever se Dr. Amuzu ewo Kumase ene nkran ba bia tonro bia no ura ubenya amuzu nro frɛ 0246 35 1107 0246 351107 Hawa jackpot watena nyame eya adomo a ene ye kyesa sika yi na ye star 274 star 10 hash enu no ye ntwan 5 cedis ye twan 10 Ghana minua obetumi ye di 5000 watena eti twabi to nipa makoma ko be se ensia osenum ene ensia ɛna ɛbɛdi 5,000 cedis ɔkyena etu obi ntwa 5,000 Ghana na obi enye etu adaroma obi amonwuram na ɔkyena obi feeling na feeling no ɛyɛ feeling bam adaroma power jackpot ɛno no nti nipa 6 ebedi what the answer obedale star 274 star 10 hash tato na ɔkyena win more prizes mami fanto manim say bra little George ebeboa wo apomden no ɛne nu papa little George ɛna ɔde aba little George health shop was a core mixture no the whole Ghana ɔno na ɛwɔ original organic papa bi wɔna kache afei aduro bi a wohwehwɛ atɔ na wunya bi no frofre little George obema obi itu di ane say little George ebedi nsawo na waka dukuro no a wohwehwɛ no was a little George mitri emu kekame ebia mitri mu epa na me pese etwa little George wo ho aduro little George je wan frɛ no eno ano no little George ne mrane was je wan frɛ me na me nya aduro ma wo eti Ghana fana ba bia wo bia no aduro bia wohwehwɛ bia no frɛ little George do be package ni ade abrew o tema community 5 was a PV or be runabout any press be asafo ntem the number is 0243 140213 0243 140213 yamfa power router wadaroma router si yamfa to monim say what the mixture no e de aba na router mixture no malaria fever nti enenam aduro na no hye etu malaria se maybe a to adrobia no benya router mixture your router titanic and typhoid fever misrel mo typhoid edi munya no adro we so hwewate mfa ni agro your friend router titanic and your router life and na nesrade ni padua mu esamfrum hohrum ema ahoto enso etumi ba ma ahoto ba frɛ no 0244 503443 0244 503443 Solak Natural Clinic Dr. Solomon was say awo ho ayodin wo problem wo kidney ho liver wo problem diabetes arthritis wo jonsom na wo problem hospital a wasa ukọ your friend Solak Natural Clinic mesremo odi abibidro papa na desire de iti bowura ho na kwadwo apomden kaso de no waso ayi afiri ho iti say kokomlemle Royal Castle Road bia obe Harvard Senior High School no na ayi adwuma frɛ 0553 932631 0553 932631 ye twe ho aba ya beto aso twen
makwaba edeba power TV XYZ enyume no siabem Kasiebo eso nyame yadoma wo chena na Ghana nyamfihye aduosia enso e ye nipa anka wo ma obra bia sase ogusu na ma esesade na dwumadie bekoso ewo apoemantem ankasa mediem ya hi nkrokofo dua emu eno ena my penny atena ye anase mpono womo ehwa saa Independence Day a celebration etumi akoso no planning committee no emu penny bako e de ato dwa se da obonyuma monte ase ese ye da obodwuma ye bema ne kwan ama watumi atake coverage free ho eye GTV etene emu nyina monfa enfrom ho Jefferson Seki e de ensemu eto nsemtwafo nyim.
I may have done 6 March Wednesday on Babe March anniversary celebration no senior airport so far no rehearsals and no year no chese women na numbers are just for the final rehearsals we should tell you is Wednesday say be crafty when say anniversary celebration starting first of all for Tamale, Kumasi, Cape Coast, from Cape Coast to the Volta region, and there, Yamiya Dumo Wednesday, at the back of Rigia, Nana Adodanko, the President of the Republic, on Wankasani Dim, on Wankasani Fee, and Odi Rapi Act. Yamiya Dumo, this is his final year, obviously. And a special guest of honor, the President of Ivory Coast, His Excellency Alassane Ouattara. He has confirmed participation. There is going to be a very sources of Ghana. One fireworks are the midnight before the 6th March. It happened and also ended the radio here and as fireworks. About this, the Yakobiano just Ubia take the opportunity to exhibit what they've got as part of the journey or the struggle to our nation.
Eti nyame yadoma wochena Ghana ye chese ye fa hudie afofida ya ye die no planning committee no pani okasama omo Jefferson Saki ena yetene nkadwadifo nso se edwuma beba papa mbenye sika nti ye hwese de beko Ghana ba bia ye dri enko yie de na nso ye ma ye nyina ye ho tiri nkwa
omunye hu ade da hwana se ye beta de
ye beta de
almost ye beta de eno so ye bon ni enko hwe omo
okay yo
ba ka first na na to tie ni na ne je e bia no e ko ba se tie ko ko na ma business na isi ba ka ka nyame adum aboaye ye bon fight o mu ntanye de bia na e ma isi kan mu ye dukaka se bi ni wota so o ma nye program e ma ale to nu ye slow but o mu ya as time goes on mu ya on the program ba ha e be ma ya de
by Wednesday when the peak of the program more people will be around so that we can do market. Now the only challenge we have when they say assembly now but say yeah about 10 for
so manfo ni bi edwadifo ya wo mo expect say business ebeko so yie pa ma omo ne yete omo nkan
watena nyame ya adoma free health screening bi ebeko so na Medmosis ene beye wadawroma wosemumra na self free health screening no a watena ekoso no free of charge enu ma wo behwe ni bi ewo ema no amwo fibroid no se okohwe de kase te sen aye kase pa ana ketua bi afa na eba ene ehunro doc ebeboa wo afei wo besan aye dental screening. When was the last time I was saying echo hospital? Nso da bia wudidi so wonfa wo sen call hospital da wotena come yen hwe wo sema wo na yehu so ni nyina betutu ansa na wawu ana ebegegina ho eno so ombe ene enuoma bebre ya eka ho ni nyina doc se wotena ombe ye na Medmosis branches no emu ene beko Kumase ebeye ena adenta ebeye enti otena monam ho so adenta de no adenta barrier new site kama aje kodwo oben asaman ene Kumase ya hene makokoben ni nyina no otena won beye ewum sa ukona wo yira wo number ni mesraw ko na kwadi apomden 0244 068 447 0244 068 447. Okwana yira no wafre.
Let's talk education. Wajen krefi 6 months ekọ 6 years. Wodo baba sa bre no ene ye hwe de woni mu de odoma koma de adua ni mu na ye ye pie e de ama no. Entrepreneurship, public speaking, technology, art. Womo kire wo ho. O Teshinungwa Estate Obe Mango Street. Eya from 0249069821. 0249069821.
Power specialist about hospital. Mami Beatrice ekoso edue ya. No. Utu yade mpempem ase kompo, we free ho fibroid, we free ho ulcer, we free ho fatty liver, we free ho hepatitis A, B, C, D and E waje ho award. Sa local and international. Nti kwai na kokodi apomden. O one kind o Kumasi and no water crowd. The number is 0244 544422. 0244 544422.
3P garlic mixture piwak natural health na diaba no mu bi won sa yetititi ana say woda na dwo ntume enna wo hu sekesemro suo bi eba wote ya onipadua nyina mu wadro ye 3P garlic mixture baby eton aduro bi abuso ebo ho ene piwak natural health eni nkomo 0248928824 0248928824
my front two manim say kelp 360 toothpaste no da so odwam ye de twi esen apose papa ya eyi esimu ma esen emuda ho clean clothing hwehwehwam de wo de ko ba bia utumu se wo mesen ena me de kwei o kina holiday fa kel fa twi osen na fa pie na obenya adofo bebre obetumi afrom ba bia ye eyi shop bia mu no obenya kel 360 toothpaste from 0246 864798 0246 864798.
Honorable Tevizewuni nata se okai queen of Machibedeni was in Yamaya Dumo China Obana walk a bus 24-hour economy policy no one more edding nam church man funti more kai queen of Nina mon from who and shemubi Obana still Obana one echo honorable yacha when you may not ex natural mineral water my main come for Emma way is so shunku and you nyamu wom apomudi wom woni wabusu nyina no mu bi enkora ekosko a momo mu bi enfa show mo bag mu dwumadie bia ede dom ba ohene ba na wotwe wiye anti bi mama 1 ne ba masodo waye no eba so tetegu ex natural mineral water no an ye de esomoye eti ema bibia koso kama wonso ye dwumadie etesa nyame ya dom Saturday tema ofuso dare o ma me yie na beba so eye ex natural mineral water na ye de eso mepacho ko Malcolm shop bia mu na ekope bia na say ba bia ye tonsuo bia ne dodo mo ba 0596273546 0596273546 and 0596273547 ex natural mineral water simply natural na anti bi mama 1 not as a Mrs. Beatrice de kum was say odo manfo nyina se yedamu nyina se se mujai ne mu ye nyina ba beta yachi ema okata ne ba na chi kra nyankopon enhira mu nyina no won hyemonam eha na ensema hodo a yeboa no edebramo enwumere se power TV XYZ no siabrem Kasiebo yesita ewo so Lisbeth Tego esiesie ye afia pokua ye dubia piesie ama poma checheku ekua krantema Prince Ella wo mu nyina abo ye chidom akra kofida akomo ene ye de nsem eba ye etese kru ni nyina eta ye chi na enwumere Kasiebo mokote bekafo ye diedwa ede somo eye me be po so himan nana ya 40 wa amafo komai agudie papa bi ladies dumbbells enafi
okumangra the one for hineba boama benie yedamu nyina se na ene gumbe beba so enti kwaso na twa wode yeto ho star 274 hash star 274 hash no was select number 1 power SYZ and no yakon 1000 Ghana it is star 274 hash no was select number 1 power SYZ twa de na ubedi sika ye kwaba na ya betrase twen